Coming at you from the Lone Star State, a pop culture podcast about movies, TV, toys, and other dorky things, with a twist of real-life dad stuff, too. So here he is, Lucky the Dork Dad. This is the Dork Dad Podcast.
And can you hear me now? What is going on, dorks? This is your host, Lucky, and this is the Dork Dad Podcast. I just want to start off and welcome any new listeners that are coming from the RLU network. I'm proud to be a part of the family now. So just to catch everybody up to speed, like I said, my name is Lucky. I like to talk about anything pop culture, whether it be movies, TV, toys, collecting, and then I always sprinkle in a little bit about my personal life, talk about my kids. I have 3 kids. My oldest son, 16. My daughter's going to turn 14 on Saturday. And my youngest son is 10 years old. So, like I said, welcome new listeners. And if I sound a little different, again, for those of you who heard me before, I think I have this new mixer set up the way I want to, I think. Like I said before, or what I tried to do, this is going to allow me to play some stuff from my phone. I can take in callers into this mixer. I can add some sound effects or play some clips, maybe something like this.
Say, man, you got a joint?
No, not on me, man.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
So that's something new. I can do that kind of stuff now. I can try some sound effects here. Let's try this. Now batting for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So that's kind of cool. It's got some other stuff on here. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but that's that. Okay, so before I get started, have a listen to this.
Dad, do you have the laptop? Ugh, great. He's in his toy room recording again. You know, ever since he started his podcast, he thinks he is so cool. He sits in there and talks about movies, toys, games, and whatever he thinks is pop culture news. Can you believe he wanted us to be on his show too? Yeah, right. But he still talks about what me and my 2 brothers do all the time. Another thing he does is ask people crazy questions and says it's for the show. Sometimes I see him recording videos of himself playing with his toys. Grow up, Dad. You know what else is funny? His logo is a picture of his face. I mean, come on, Dad. Do you really think people care what you have to say about all that stuff? Well, Dad, I hate to tell you, but you're a big dork. I guess that's why he calls his show Dork Dad Podcast. If you guys really want to hear my dad's show, you can listen on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and pretty much everywhere else you can get your podcasts. If you want to follow him, he's on Facebook, Instagram, and sometimes Twitter under Dork Dad Podcast. Ugh, hurry up, Dad. I need to use the computer.
Okay, so on this episode, we are going to go over some dork news. What's in the news coming up? Go over some dad stuff, maybe some movie trailers, Dork Dad Questions. And for those of you who are new, just pay attention. You'll catch on quick. I'm a pretty simple guy. So let's get started with this weekend's box office numbers. So these are weekend domestic numbers. Let's see. Coming in at number 3 is Hustlers with 11.3 million. Number 2, Downtown Abbey drops a spot from last week at 14 million. And the newcomer Abominable, however you say that, coming in at 20 million. That is the new animated movie from Universal. Honorable mention would be Judy in its first week, coming in at a mere 2.9 million. So that's the weekend box office numbers. Let's move on to some dork news. Something I'm a little excited for is Jurassic Park 3. I'm sorry, I should say Jurassic World 3. Now, what's exciting about this, of course, I like all the Jurassic Park movies, but what's exciting about this one is they are set to bring back the original cast, which includes Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and the one and only Jeff Goldblum. So that's exciting. Again, I think they're just following suit, which has been a topic of discussion lately, is just bringing back the nostalgia. So one way to rejuvenate a franchise is to bring back old characters, so everybody can get the feels that they did the first time around. So including with the children from that first Jurassic Park movie, those two actors, I forget their names, but they have come out publicly and said they are open to join the cast as well. That'd be a lot cooler if they did. And of course they're open to it because what have those two done lately? Nothing, right? At least nothing that we know of. So either way, excited about Jurassic World 3. Let's see what else is in the news. Kevin Smith announced that a Clerks 3 is a go. I'm a fan of Kevin Smith. I like the original Clerks. I liked Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, and I think that's about it. I love the guy as a person. As a movie director, maybe not that great. There are a few that I like, but he's bringing back his old friends as he does for a Clerks 3. So those of you who are excited about that, that's that. Alright, what else is in the news? Keanu Reeves, Neo himself, Mr. John Wick, has gone on to say he will make as many John Wick movies as the fans want. So this is pretty cool, I guess. He's claiming his own job security. I mean, everybody loves John Wick, right? And as long as the stories are fine, as long as you can keep it interesting, I wouldn't mind seeing more John Wick. You know, who wouldn't? I just want to see more Keanu in anything, really. And I'm sure the movie companies will continue to make John Wick movies as long as they're making money. Because, of course, like I mentioned before, the movie business is a business. If you ain't making money, it ain't happening. Let's see. So Star Wars, right? There's a whole bunch of Star Wars news coming up. A whole bunch of stuff coming out. A whole bunch of toys, a whole bunch of figures. You got, what do they call it? Triple Force Friday or whatever. Listen to the Sarlacc boys, right? Sarlacc Digest. They have all the news, or the Toy Migos for all the news on that, of what exactly is coming out. I just really want a Mandalorian figure. So anybody listen, if they happen to get an extra one, because I have to work on Friday. If they get an extra one, let me know. I'll take it off your hands. But some Star Wars news. So we all know these live action shows coming to Disney Plus. There has been talk about a fan favorite from the Clone Wars. Now, if you haven't seen the Clone Wars, yes, it is a cartoon, And we know some people don't consider the cartoons important, don't consider it canon, but it is. A fan favorite, Ahsoka Tano, which for those who don't know was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, which he trained. Again, a fan favorite character that goes on and ends up in Rebels also, the other animated show, which is really good. So it has been rumored that we are going to finally get a live action Ahsoka Tano. Now, how cool would that be? But not like we were all hoping. It's probably not in a movie, but more likely in one of these live action series. Now, just it's a question of which one. The Mandalorian, which takes place after the first trilogy, I don't think we'll see her there. The big rumor or the word that's going around is we will see her in the new Cassian series. Cassian with Diego Luna. Is the right time frame. She was part of Rebels. Cassian's one of the early Rebels. It's like it just makes sense. And like I said, people are talking about it. People want it. Even the stars are talking about it. We already have Rosario Dawson showing interest in playing the character. I think she'd make an awesome Ahsoka. Just depends on do they want to show her younger or not. But Rosario Dawson, that to me, I'm already sold. That's my Ahsoka. That's who I'd pick. So those of you who are excited about that, who know who Ahsoka is, that's gonna be awesome. Hopefully the rumors are true. Let's see what else. Like I said, there's more Star Wars stuff, but I'm gonna let the other guys handle that. Stranger Things 4 got a little teaser. Didn't really say much. All it said was, we are not in Hawkins anymore. So that's exciting. Rumors are, if you guys have kept up with this series, that we are possibly gonna be in Russia. At least that's the word. We gotta find out who's the American they have locked up. Let's see. We have the Birds of Prey trailer. Now, I want to try something here. Let's see if it works. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think I got it. So, one thing I wanted to try is, if you've seen the trailer or not, like it just came out today. If you've seen it or not, I'm at least going to try to play the audio, and then I'll talk about the trailer afterwards. So let's see if this works, if I have it connected right.
You know what a harlequin is? A harlequin's role is to serve. It's nothing without a master. No one gives two shits who we are beyond that. The Joker and I broke up. I wanted a fresh start. But it turns out I wasn't the only dame in Gotham looking for emancipation.
Spectacular news! Miss Quinn, she belongs to me.
Who are you guys?
Here's the deal, Quinn. You need me!
He's after all of us now. None of us are walking out of here unless we work together.
You gotta be kidding me.
Isn't this fun? It's just like a sleepover. We should order pizza. Make Cosmos.
Harley, focus.
I'm the one they should be scared of. Not you. Not Mr. J. Because I'm Harley freaking Quinn.
Who's having a good time?
Get ready, ladies.
Chick. I never call a woman a chick. I'll accept broad, lady, woman, and on occasion, bitch.
Bitch, what are you talking
Hold that
about?
for me, will you?
All right. So that was interesting. So for those of you who've seen this trailer, go watch it. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's a little meh to me. Now, I like the Suicide Squad. I liked her character in there. I just don't know if I want to see a movie just about her. I mean, so it's not just about her, right? There's also the Birds of Prey with a bunch of no-name faces, or at least that I don't know, except for an old-ass Rosie Perez. Who the hell cares about an old-ass Rosie Perez? But we're getting it, right? They're feeding off the popular Harley Quinn. And yeah, it's coming out, like it or not. Now it says there's no Batman, no Joker, supposedly. So we're just gonna have to see what's happening. It does have a Ewan McGregor, which is, I think they say, is playing Black Mask, which a lot of people are upset because he does not have a black mask. But this is just a trailer. Who knows? Probably be like every other movie, he's gonna don the mask at the very last moment. At least that's my guess. So we got that trailer. Another trailer I'm not gonna play anymore today, but another trailer which looks really good that just came out is called Six Underground, which is a Netflix movie starring Ryan Reynolds. Now this looks pretty cool. It looks like he's probably part of some kind of military group, and they talk about dying or living after you die. Talking about it looks like this is like a secret ops group where they fake their deaths, so essentially they do not exist and they can do whatever they want, kill whoever they want. I think they talk about we can take down all the bad guys we want, nobody will care because everybody thinks they're dead. It's kind of a cool premise. It looks cool. It looks new. It looks fresh. I'm really digging it. It's supposed to come out in December on Netflix. So check out that trailer if you haven't yet. Let's see another trailer. Now this trailer has some buzz around it. This is the Adam Sandler Uncut Gems trailer. Again, I don't know if you've seen this yet. You gotta check it out. Now I'm a huge fan of Adam Sandler. Huge, right? From the very beginning, from SNL, even before that. Did you know that Adam Sandler even used to come on the Cosby Show as one of Theo's friends? So there's some Adam Sandler trivia for you. Okay, so this movie, Uncut Gems, like I said, it's getting a lot of buzz about Adam Sandler. I mean, they're talking like Oscar performance. I mean, is it just because, I mean, this guy is known for comedies, and then when he does something serious, it's like, oh my God, you know, this is Oscar worthy. Is it just the shock and awe of him doing something different? because I don't know. Like I said, I love Adam Sandler, but when I see this trailer, if you don't know what it's about, I'm kind of guessing just looking at the trailer. This guy, I don't know his character's name yet, but looks like he's friends, or he knows Kevin Garnett, and from what I'm getting, he makes this ridiculous bet, and maybe it backfires and people are after him. At least that's what I'm getting from the trailer. That's what I'm thinking it's about. And he's some kind of jeweler. He works in a jewelry store. I think that's why it's called Uncut Gems. But it just looks, when I see him being serious, or maybe like being a wise guy or a tough guy, I'm still laughing because of everything he's done. It's like when the comedian tries to do a serious role, it's still, to me, it looks like he's putting on an act. Of course, it's acting, right? But to me, it doesn't seem real. It seems like Adam Sandler acting or joking around as a tough guy or a wise guy. So that's what I see when I see this trailer. I could be wrong. Maybe if you watch the whole movie from start to finish, you'll get a different feeling. But that's just the way I feel. Even though I love Adam Sandler. I mean, if you really want to talk Oscar or really good acting performances, I know he's done all these comedies, right? But one that I always thought that was really, really good is Spanglish, right? Where he has a troubled marriage and he pretty much is falling in love for the nanny or the housekeeper, which at first doesn't speak English, and then she learns English, and then her daughter ends up with her family, and it's a really, really good movie. For those who haven't seen it, it's been out for a long time now, but to me, that's one of his better acting roles. I just like that movie. So this movie, I'm not too sure what to think about it yet, but I'm probably going to see it because I'm a fan. And yep, so along those same lines, right? An Academy Award for a dramatic role, that's the norm, right? What about comedies? Should there be an Academy Award for a comedic performance? I mean, to me, I think it's just as hard to make a comedy as it is a really serious dramatic role. I mean, when you really think about it, right? Because if you take these really serious actors, not all of them can do what the comedic actors do, and vice versa, right? I think they are two separate arts, and I think comedies just get overlooked all the time, but I really do believe it is a true art form, and in my opinion, it should be recognized by the Academy. So what do you guys think? I don't know. That's just me. Alright, I think that's enough news and stuff. Let's move on to some dad stuff. So this past Friday, I got to volunteer with my son's high school band and part of the pit crew. The pit crew are the guys that help the students take out the band instruments and props and whatnot. So I got to be there on the sideline, or pretty close to the field. And it ended up being a really, really good game. Now for my son's high school, they always haven't had the best football team. But these past couple of years, they have been really, really good. And this year, there's a particular school. It's kind of a rival. We had it's called the Battle of 3009, which is one of the roads down here. We have one high school on one side of the road, and a little bit further on the other side of the road is another high school. And it has been 12 years, I think that's what they're saying, 12 or 13. 12 years since my son's school has beaten this other school. So it was a really close game, back and forth, and I mean it was like a damn movie. It was like watching Varsity Blues or any other high school football movie. It came down, we were ahead, and it came down to a goal line stand. They drove down the field with just seconds on the clock, and we had a goal line stand. It was first and goal, and they ended up holding them all 4 downs. It was just, as the seconds ran out, it was just a really, really great game. It really makes me think of when I used to play football way back in the day. We had a similar game when I was in high school. My junior year, there was another powerhouse football team or high school. You know, Texas football is really, really big, and if I said the name of these schools, if you look them up, you could see they won multiple. Even the team my son's school beat, they have won the state championship in the past. But when I was in high school, there was a super, super powerhouse. Seemed like they always won. Like I said, when I was a junior, this school was on a 35 game winning streak. I don't know, that's like over 3 years of never losing. They hadn't lost a game in over 3 years. A single game. 35 game winning streak. And we went up against them, and it was a battle back and forth. I mean, it was just an amazing game. And we ended up winning that game 32-31. It was just so great. Like I said, this week when I was out there helping out with my son and the band, it really reminded me of that game. It was really, really good. Speaking of my football days back in the day, I got to hang out with some buddies of mine from high school that I haven't seen in a long time. It was really good seeing them. Life happens. People get married, people have kids, and the next thing you know, you go to work, you come home, and you go back to work and come home, and that's it. You get in this routine, and you lose sight of those old friends. But I here recently got to meet back up with some of my old friends. So just want to say shout out to Big Mike and Mike, Little Mike, Ryan, and Jason. So I had a real good time meeting back up with you guys. Hopefully we'll make it a regular thing. And PJ, I missed PJ, but hopefully we'll meet up soon. PJ and some other friends of his are starting up a podcast. I don't think they're on iTunes yet, but I know they're on YouTube, which I believe they're called the Hustlers Huddle. Honestly, I haven't seen it yet, but they are getting started. I think they have a few episodes up already, so be on the lookout for them in the near future. Let's see what else with dad stuff. So my youngest, so we moved into this house, our house, current house, going on 3 years. Yeah, this month will be 3 years. In our old house, we only had a 3-bedroom, so My daughter had her own room, and my two boys shared a room. We had some bunk beds. And since we moved in this house, we brought the bunk beds with us. We have a 4-bedroom now, so everybody has their own room. But my youngest always still had the bunk beds, and he was tired of the bunk beds. He said, "Dad, I want a regular bed." So I said, okay. We got rid of the bunk bed. We got him, and we need to get him a regular bed. So we went over to IKEA. We made the trip to IKEA, not to get a Detolf, or any other shows to display my stuff, but we went there to find him a bed. So of course, IKEA furniture is always fun because you have to put it together yourself. So we did that. And so one thing my family likes to do, mainly because of my wife, she has us all hooked on these HGTV shows, all these Property Brothers and Flip or Flop or whatever you call them, Love It or List, I don't know, all these home improvement shows, right? So she had the idea of taking my son's dresser, which is we've had it for years. It was my oldest son's dresser, but it's a really good dresser. It's made out of real wood. It's solid, and it's not like the cheaper furniture that you get nowadays. So she said, "Hey, what if we sand this dresser and stain it darker to match our son's new bed?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds cool. It looks easy on TV. Let's just do that." And let me tell you, the dresser's still in the garage, halfway done. I mean, they make it look easy on TV, but and I'm all for doing stuff yourself. But I think there's just a difference of knowing how to do something and knowing what you're doing. Me, I'm a guy. I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, right? You just gotta sand it, stain it, this and that. Well, sanding took a lot longer than I thought. This particular dresser has like a lot of little nooks and crannies, and if you don't sand everything, the stain doesn't get to it and it looks like crap. So, yep, that's where I'm at. We're in the middle of still staining, trying to make it all look fine and dandy. And then when you really think about it, sanding it, getting everything you need to sand, sandpaper, sander, stain, sealer, brushes, rags, whatever you use, we could have just bought a damn new dresser. But either way, like I said, I blame my wife. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. For wanting to do these HGTV type of things. Which leads me to my Whatcha Watching. So my youngest, whenever he sees something or gets the idea in his head, like he goes full bore. It's kind of like me. Whenever I decide on something to collect, like Motu, for example, He-Man figures, like I got the itch once, and then like I was like fully devoted, like I had to get every figure. I was deep into it. And then I kept them for a while, and then now I sold them. I just have a few left. But that's the way I'm into Batman right now. Like I'm deep into Batman. Like I keep looking for stuff I don't have and stuff that I can afford. But so my son's kind of like that too. So like I said, we're watching HGTV, and a commercial comes on. It says, "A very Brady renovation." And my youngest, right away, he was like, "Brady renovation? What's Brady?" And I was like, "Oh, that was an old TV show, an old sitcom about this family. They had 3 boys and 3 girls and this and that, telling them the whole story, singing the song, So this show on HGTV, they did 4 episodes where they took the actual Brady house, the ones you see in the exterior shots, right? From the show, which I know, right? That the real house is nothing like the house that they show on the show, because of course they shoot those shows in a studio, on a set. But you figured maybe it looked something like it, right? Well, it turns out the real house that they filmed in the show went on sale, and people were going out of their mind trying to buy this house, and they ended up selling it to HGTV, of course, because they had this idea for this show, right? So what's crazy, they bought this house. I think before they bid, I think they said like the highest bid was like 1 point something million, and then they come in and bust out everybody with like over $3 million for this house, which is a regular freaking house. So HGTV buys this house, and they have the crazy idea. They get all the designers from all their dumb shows, and they decide to make the house that they filmed look like the house from the show. Now it's like a big deal. They probably spent even more money on trying to make this happen, because the real house I think they said it was a split story, which means there's like one room upstairs. I think it was just the master bedroom, and it was a lot smaller, totally different layout. So they had to make that house into the 2-story house that we've all known and loved in the show. And my son was just memorized by this this show. Like he wanted to see the real Brady Bunch, and we ended up finding it on Hulu. So anybody that wants to see the Brady Bunch, it is on Hulu. I think all the seasons, I don't know. So ever since that show started, which I think it's about a month ago, because they just had the last episode this week, he has been watching Brady Bunch this whole time. I think he's already like on season 4, which is crazy. Like he comes home from school and you hear that dun 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 dun. Here's the story of lovely lady, and he's singing along to it. I'm like, this dude is crazy. So yeah, my 10-year-old, he's into the Brady Bunch because of this HGTV show. Just crazy. So I'm gonna throw that into my Whatcha Watching. If you haven't seen that, for the older folks, it does get that nostalgia feeling. You get that feeling back of when you used to watch it as a kid. So it's pretty cool to actually see how they put that house together, and how they really had a hard time trying to find, like, they matched everything. They really worked in trying to find the exact furniture, and anything they couldn't find, they had to like recreate. It was just it's a good watch if you're into home improvement shows. Let's see what else. Another Dork Dad question I put out because of my last episode was, how do you handle a teenage daughter? I mentioned in the last episode that my daughter is being a real a-hole lately, and I don't know what to do with her anymore. But so I put out the question, how the hell do you handle a teenage daughter? And I was hoping to get some advice, but I got everybody just wanting to know the same question. So I guess I'm not alone. See, we have Aldo Chavez says he's tuning in because he's going through this right now, crazy teen life. Says, I'll say this. Don't forget about your partner. Because after the craziness, your wife will still be there. And a whole lot of patience. So, yes, of course, me and my wife have had many discussions about, at the end of the day, it's just going to be me and her. So he's eagerly waiting. Rich El Sinestro says he's not there yet. And he is also waiting for a response. We got Chris Rizzo saying, yeah, I'm going to need to take notes for later. Mine's 7 going on 13. Have a Rodrigo Santana says his is 11 going on 21. It says he's going to start opening cans of whoop ass. Let's see, we got Major Reaction IG says my girl is only 10 and already acting like a teen. Let's see, Big Pop 512 says need you to write up the manual, publish it, and send me a first edition for future reference. And let's see, Justin 73 says very carefully. He says, I've had 5 teenage girls at once. Now luckily only 1 left. Got to give them their space, but try to be on their level when speaking to them. I always told my girls be honest. Might not always like what they have to say, but honest with each other at least. So that's some great advice. And lastly, we got Black Hole Comics says every now and again you gotta show some tough love and punch them square in the chest. Don't cave it in, but just enough pressure to say, hey, I'm here and I love you. I think that's the best one. So, yes, I know she's just a teenager. She's going through her teenage angst, whatever. I still love her. And it is her birthday on Saturday. So, she still hasn't told us what the hell she wants to do because that's the way she is. And then when the day comes, I'm sure she'll be mad because we didn't do something. So, that's where I'm at right now. 14. We are Hispanic, and we've talked to her about does she want a quinceañera next year, and it might be too late to plan something, because people plan years in advance for that. But she better hurry up and make a decision. So last week I was also talking about my daughter wanted these sweats for $75 on sale. She kept saying, Dad, but they're on sale. On sale for $75? You're out of your damn mind. How much are they regular price? She's like, I don't know, but they're on sale. I told her, I'm not buying you $75 sweats. $150 for the top and the bottom. On sale. She's crazy. I said, I said last week, I said, I'll get you some damn sweats from Walmart. She's like, no, but these are Champion sweats. And I'm like, Champion sweats? So what? I was like, that's an old brand. And she's like, yeah, but Champion's in now and this and that. She also wanted some sweats, or she got some sweats. I think they were at Costco, and she was like, Dad, give me these sweats. I don't know why she wants sweats. It's freaking summertime. It's still freaking hot in Texas, but she wants to wear sweats. And she wears them to school. I don't understand. But at Costco, she found some that say Fila. And it's not even like the big Fila logo. It has like a little square that says Fila, that little F. And I was like, these are these old ass brands. And I guess they're all making a comeback. So I posted up another Dork Dad question today saying, what other old sneaker brands do you want to see make a comeback? Let's see. We got 80s Baby. Says he has a pair of some old Grant Hills, and he wouldn't mind bringing back some light up sneakers, and he says LA Gears. He says he also has 3 pairs of the Patrick Ewing sneakers. Let's see, the Hustlers Huddle mentioned. My boy PJ says he'd like to see LA Gear for sure. Let's see, Bab Bob Brunks. I hope I'm saying that right. On Instagram says Troop, of course, and also the Travel Fox in red suede. Justin 73 says, where's the ruse at? The kangaroos with the pocket in the tongue of the shoe. I used to have some of them ruse. Let's see, what about Facebook? Let's see, we got Adam Smith says he had kangaroos and LA Gear, and he's saying that the retro feelers are available. Nick Floyd says those feelers and BKs. Jose Garza says Reebok, come on, bro. Nathan says that he had some of them BKs. I had some of them BKs too. I think I wore out a pair of BKs, man. Some British Knights. Yeah, so British Knights, LA Gear, Fila, Ruse, Capas. Remember Capas? Capas had them little triangles that you could switch out, put different colors. Some Diodoras. What? Yeah. So that's what my daughter's in. My daughter's into this old school stuff. I guess it's all making a comeback. I just don't remember when Champion sweatshirts, a plain Champion sweatshirt costs $40. Even a regular one. I was looking them up. A regular damn sweatshirt with nothing on it, just a little C, $40. I was like, I could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong. But I remember back in the day, Champion was like, they were just like athletic equipment. Like you could only find those like at athletic stores. Like, and it was, to me back in the day, like those were the cheap stuff. I remember my mom be like, hey, you want some of those? Like, I don't want Champion. But it is what it is. It's making a comeback. It's the in thing now with the kiddos. So whatever. So like I said, my daughter's birthday is on Saturday. Me and my oldest are gonna go see Joker on Thursday. So I will definitely be talking about those two things next week. So again, for anybody that is a new listener, thank you for listening, for one. And again, thank you for the RLU for inviting me into the family. So you will probably hear, or new listeners, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook under Dork Dad Podcast. And you can also follow and subscribe to my show on iTunes under my own feed, which I will probably be releasing every Tuesday, and probably I got to talk to Rich, see when they're gonna throw up my show on the ROU, probably a day or two later. You'll find me on the ROU. So again, thanks for listening, and until next time, I will see you later.
You've been listening to the Dork Dad Podcast. Please remember to follow, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Until next time, keep it dorky.